I'm still fucking living about it.
Absolutely.
Ever think that? Fucking blood all over the goddamn place.
You know what? Then we wouldn't be here today.
So, my name is Superstar Billy Graham, right?
Yeah.
Do you know where the superstar came from?
I do not.
Do you want to know?
Absolutely.
Remember the rock opera years ago, Jesus Christ Superstar? Brother? I got it from the rock opera, brother.
Really?
I heard the name Superstar in '68, and that name stuck with me, brother. And I added that to I became a Jerry Graham, Dr. Jerry Graham. Go back in history, look at Dr. Jerry Graham. I became a Graham brother, and I picked the name Billy Graham because of the Reverend, the evangelist Billy Graham. And then I grabbed Jesus Christ Superstar from the rock opera and put it together, brother. There you go. Yeah. It came to my wife, bought a bottle of wine. He said, Superstar, I want your wife to bleach my hair blonde. My ex-wife.
No
And
way.
yes, sir, brother. And we opened up the bottle of wine. The hair turned blonde. Rinse it out. Blew dry it. The man had blonde hair. We drank the wine and he hit the road. Right there, brother. There you go, brother. Look at the painting I did of Ric Flair, brother. Did I nail him?
That's awesome.
I nailed him. Yeah. Check that out, brother. I nailed him. Send it to him as a gift.
You see how they have me bigger? Anyone that used to feature the magazines in those days, they used to make, they had them bigger than the other people, Like Hogan, they put him, he was way bigger than everybody. Like, see here, I'm way bigger than everyone. I'm not, I'm standing right with him. I'm just, it's trick photography.
Yeah. Any of these like high school kids, middle school kids, do they have any idea about your pro wrestling stuff?
Well, they all know because it's a small town, and their parents know about me.
Okay.
They're at an age with the parents. But now, all you have to do is Google Tito Santana and
In the classroom, do you go by your real name or Tito?
my real name. And the kids think it's cool when they can call me, hey Tito. And I don't make a big deal out of it. I'm probably the only guy that really looked like that back then. That's the way I looked.
Your Hogan one's in a lot better shape than that. Hogan must have beat that one up a little bit.
Shit.
Just kidding.
Brother,
Look at that thing.
That's a
about-
lot of abs right there, man.
I'm telling you, I had them. I had abs just like that. I weighed 246 pounds when this was made.
That's incredible.
I'm 5'11".
Incredible.
That's the way I look. For real.
Here's the story. I'm booked in Hawaii. I'm wrestling in Hawaii, brother. I'm wrestling in Hawaii out of Minneapolis for Ringana. They send my check from Hawaii to Minneapolis to the Billy Graham Evangelistic. My payoff was to the Billy Graham Evangelistic Society. They were they loved it. They got a big kick out of it. They knew me, and they laughed. They said, "Oh my God, this is funny." They told the real reverend about the check coming from a wrestler using his name, and he got a big kick out of it, man. They sent it back to the wrestling office.
That's his daughter with Arnold. Look at that in color.
Yeah, that's my daughter, Godfather, man. 1972, right there. Arnold.
Man.
Arnold with my daughter.
Oh,
Brand
Some
new.
pictures in here you wouldn't believe.
Brand new, brother.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear that.
I am Tracy Brooks, and I am a pig farmer. But I just forgot to spell how to spell my name. My dad owns a pig farm. He actually sold it in St. Mary's, Ontario, Canada. And we had 10,000 chickens and 500 pigs.
Holy cow.
And I was supposed to actually take over the farm, so I was supposed to be a farmer. But wrestling got in the way.
And Daddy sold the farm, huh?
Yeah, he's still on there. He has cash crop, but he doesn't have any animals anymore. So it was kind of one of those things like do this and it's for you, and it was nothing really to do with. I mean, it's still to do with wrestling, but it was a magazine, nothing with wrestling. So, I mean, it's Playboy, man. What little girl? It's the epitome
whether
of.
they admit it or not, every girl wants to be in Playboy.
Absolutely. Some.
In
the slop?
Yeah. What was that shit?
I made it every day.
Did you really?
Well, because I always heard stories that when they were slopping people, like they would make it, it would sit around, and the guys would piss in it all day.
Oh.
So I was terrified. So when they said I was going to start, I said only on one condition: if I can make it, you can slop me every night if you want.
So
I
what was
got
it?
slopped every night for 3 months. Leftover from catering. It was just salad and bread and water, and mixed up. That's all it was. It was just leftover, stuff from the lunch line. And I would keep it. I would make it myself and keep it in my locker room so nobody can mess with it.
Vince came up with it. When they first approached me to team us up, I don't know if you guys remember. A bunch of Mexicans had died in a railroad car. In the border. Of heat exhaustion, and Vince McMahon told me that they wanted to call us the Border Patrol, me from the South, and I said, Vince, I said, that's fine with me. I said, but, I think it'll turn us heel.
That's how you learn. You learn by doing.
Right.
It takes 5 or 6 years.
Absolutely.
The
It's all
psychology.
hands on.
It was all psychology. I was like, there's a lot of psychology in putting butts in the seat. We're talking money now.
Big money.
More
yeah.
seats.
Yeah.
You don't think that the guys, now the better the psychology, the more butts are going to be in that seat.
Absolutely, yeah.
You got to have the whole package.
Yeah, he was a genius.
No, the guys that he was with were the geniuses.
Right. They're making him the money.
All
You
he
guys,
did is take advantage of
right,
it.
you guys were making him the money.
Don't ever think that that wasn't
Yeah.
so.
Absolutely.
Ever think that. Now you're relying on him. It sucks.
Yeah,
Look,
it's bad.
It's
you
a
still, you
shit.
still follow it?
hell no.
You still watch? You don't watch it at all?
No. Paul Orndorff?
Yes, please.
No, I don't watch it. I haven't watched that in 15 years. It ain't the guy's fault. It's that they got nowhere to go. And he doesn't care. They think, and it's not just him, but the TV people think that they can just throw this stuff out there and people are going to eat it.
First time I ever worked with Bret was in New Haven Coliseum, Connecticut. And I said, you remember that? Oh yeah. I said, remember when I went out on the floor when I told you to come out after me? And told him to do something. Anyway, he did the complete opposite. And I'm bending over, and he comes up with that English sidewinder. Fucking bust my goddamn mouth. I have fucking blood all over the goddamn place. The place was sold out. It was on a Sunday afternoon, and I told him, I said, Bret, why would you do that type of move on the floor?
Talk to me about I shouldn't have hit him when he was on the floor. Nobody saw it. Want me to hit him up in the ring, and it's like, you know what? It's not ballet.
Ken, I know what I'm doing.
You know, the first guy that got hit on the floor wrestling, and then, the first guy that really complained about it, like, it was like nobody saw it.
And it carries on 25 years later, man. It's pretty good.
You know what it was? I remember it now, vaguely. And it's like I was trying to throw desperation, like fight back. I gave him one of those English style lifters, and he bit his tongue. It's not my fault. He didn't know how to take it. But it's just funny that that's all he remembers. Everything that ever happened.
People say, what's the three best things in your life that happened in wrestling? Number one was WrestleMania 3. Well, number 3 was WrestleMania 3. Number 2 was getting the Hall of Fame ring, but number 1 was being part of WrestleMania, because the WrestleMania 1 had not been successful. You know what? Then we wouldn't be here today.
Yeah, I'd say that's safe
Because
to
that
say.
had to be the one to make it. If that didn't make it, we've been off the air.
I'll tell you what, Mick was a better worker than people gave him credit for. The guy could take some hellacious bumps.
Oh man.
Now, didn't have a lot of psychology. But if the other guy did, he could make you.
So I'm out here one time in Anaheim, and this guy comes and asks me, did I want to do night calls? And the way he described it, it sounded like a radio show.
Okay.
Because I didn't imagine being on camera and answering the fucking phone. And I was in, so he invites me, he goes, hey, you want to come be on my show? And I said, what are you talking about? He says, and I was living out here at the time, So I said, okay, sure, I'll come check it out. Be on your show, I'm fine, I don't give a shit. Any publicity is good. So I go there, and it's Playboy's night calls. And there were like naked chicks everywhere. Everybody's fucking. I was going, what in the fuck is this? And they cut whatever scene. He walks up, he goes, you ready to get on camera? I go, fuck no. I said, dude, I'll get fired if I do this. I'm a fucking superhero.
Did you have you couldn't just put your mask on?
I was just like, what in the shit? He goes, well, you want to stay and watch? I said, oh yeah, I'll stay. I ain't going no fucking way.
I want on tape. I'll sign it, brother, and then I'll be misspelling my name.
Fire them up. You guys are just fired.
Brother, you just cranked me up, brother. Here's my return match. I dropped the belt to Bob Backlund in Madison Square Garden. The return match against Bob Backlund. I am in the hallway waiting to go to the ring with my tie-dye, my gimmicks on, my color, the blonde hair, the body, the whole deal. The month before, I'd already dropped the belt to Bob Backlund, and I'm standing there with Vince McMahon Sr., and out of the babyface locker room at Madison Square Garden walks Bob Backlund with a towel around his neck, with a full-length boxing robe on to the ankles and the belt underneath the boxing robe. The belt that he just fucking took from me underneath the boxing robe with a robe tied in a bow, and Vince McMahon Sr. says, Bobby, where's the belt? Put this all over the fucking internet. Where's the belt? And Bobby says, the belt is underneath my robe. And Vince Sr. says, Bobby, the fans want to see the belt. It was all about the belt. Bruno Sammartino, 10 years with it's the belt. He said, Bobby, the fans want to see the fans want to see the belt. And he says, but Vince, it's underneath my robe. And he says, and then Bob Backlund says to Vince McMahon, and Vince McMahon Senior, one more time says, Bobby, will you please show the fans your belt? And Bob Backlund says to Vince McMahon, but Vince, I like my robe. He gave the fucking belt, he took it from a man and gave it to a motherfucking child. Bob Backlund. But Vince, I like my robe. That's the biggest fucking mistake the fucking business has ever had. And you put this all over the motherfucking internet. I am still livid about it. And Vince McMahon begged Bob Backlund to show the fans the belt, and the fucking guy is such a child, idiot, imbecile. The belt that meant something. The fucking guy is a child and a fucking retard. And that is on record from superstar Billy Graham and fucking printed all over the internet. I'm still fucking livid about it the rest of my life. The biggest mistake ever made in professional wrestling was giving Bob Backlund the WWF belt. He gave it to a child and took it from a man, superstar Billy Graham.